Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back another video from Clyde. I am so happy to see him still on the uploads. This did come out like a couple weeks ago, was it? I can't remember, but it's been a bit. I was like, oh my god, I forgot to check it out because it's not Bleach related. I mean, yeah, he does do other stuff, like he does the UFC stuff as well, doesn't he? But like, really interesting to see that he's gone and done a Chainsaw Man video. Makima is way stronger than you think. This is going to be interesting. Interesting to see him scale Makima of all people, because she is very, very freaking OP within the story of Chainsaw Man. Part one, anyway. Part two, I tried reading online. And I was like, "Do you know what? I enjoyed reading, binging it so much that I'm just gonna wait for the volumes to come out." But yeah, I'm guessing this is just gonna cover part one, which would be cool. Yeah, Makima's beastly. So let's see how much stronger she actually is than we think.
You know, man, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while since I've actually enjoyed reading a new manga. Enjoyed it so much that it's the first thing on my mind when I wake up.
Bleach, obviously. Yeah.
The feeling that I've got to continue it
Oh,
straight
mate,
away
Berserk. Whoa.
and see what's next. Not because the series coming out these days are necessarily bad, they bore me, or anything like that. It's just, nothing has really caught my attention like a lot of my favorites have in the past. Nothing that has really felt like my specific taste.
So meant to be Dragon Ball. See, yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Well, that wasn't until I read Chainsaw Man. Oh my god, I can't even do this intro with a straight face. After watching the anime, I was inspired to binge the entire manga.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, so you did it the other way round. Ooh, that's not out yet, is it? I'm sure it's not out yet, volume 12, or is? But yeah, I read the manga first, then watched the anime.
Afterwards. And after finally seeing what all the hype was about with one of Shonen Jump magazine's huge new gen series that has dominated the sales in recent years, I get it. I understand why this series popped off so hard, and why the anime
I thought the
is one
anime
of
was
the most
great.
exciting new series I've watched since One Punch Man Season 1 in 2015.
Why does everyone always have to like slightly insult season 2? It's always like, yeah, One Punch Man season 1. It's like, oh, leave it. It wasn't that bad.
Not only can I appreciate the anime in its entirety with its somewhat smart use of CGI where necessary, and that's a big deal, as most of you guys know I fucking hate CGI in anime.
Oh, shit.
I love its unique OST composed by Kensuke Ushio, consistent character designs throughout the entire anime,
Yeah, man.
and incredibly hype fights with honestly some really unique powers. But also, it's got a pretty damn creative opening, and it's filled with genuinely deep themes that I feel like a lot of the audience of Chainsaw Man doesn't really understand for the most part. I may actually cover one of these themes in a future video
Cool,
if this
alright,
video
cool,
receives
cool.
enough support,
Bring it,
because
bring it.
today I'm going to be covering probably the most popular aspect of the series, a character so popular that I genuinely believe that by her being invented for the story, she inadvertently helped blow the series up in popularity before the first episode had even aired. Makima.
There is a lot of intrigue around Makima.
Though
isn't
Chainsaw
there?
Man may be a shonen manga and filled with fights that majorly dictate the progression of storytelling like the rest of them, the series is incredibly crafty with the way it writes the new
It's quite psychological at points, and yeah, like you do question what's going on.
nuanced individuals in the story, their motivations, their pain, their experiences, and the way it uses symbolism to creatively showcase things without verbally having to state them through dialogue. Makima is one of the most interesting female characters I think I've actually read about in a manga, because unlike most female characters that are placed into a story with the sole purpose of getting the
Yeah, mate, she is class though.
reader to rub one out, be a plot device for romance, or fill a side character position
You guys been watching Hell's Paradise? I've been really enjoying it. I thought season 1 was boss. I think we got one more episode, haven't we?
that goes nowhere beyond just that. She's so prevalent in the story that it feels like she's there more than the actual main character is. As if the author wrote her to speak in such an alluring way and appear so nice to the eyes that you are being controlled into wanting more of her.
Ooh, I love how he said controlled as well. They were.
Makima instantly had me intrigued with her character from the very first time she talks. She's obviously designed to be physically attractive, however, this isn't why I liked her. Makima genuinely feels like the kind of villain that, as the story progresses, it gives her a very hateable feeling that just makes you want to keep reading. You want to see where her plans go,
Yeah.
what's her backstory, what's she really about. This
Yeah,
to me
what
is
is she
usually
want?
indicative
What
of
does
what
she
I'd
want,
say
man?
is a good villain. If said villain can be so effective in the story that the reader actually thinks they're a bad person, you're doing a good job as an
Yeah.
author. Makima kind of plays a similar role to Griffith from Berserk. Build up this wandering character that has nothing, give them love, a family, food, everything they could ever desire. But the second they try to fly,
Boom.
you clip
Oh,
their
okay.
wings.
Right, yeah.
Bang. Within the first few times you see Makima, her manner of speech is intriguing, which really speaks to how well she's written. Not only does she verbally control the characters in her world, she controls the reader into being interested in her. And that's why today, I'm going to be talking about just how much of an absolute menace this character truly is, and why I personally believe people don't fully understand just how powerful she actually is in both power and writing.
Wow, okay.
Almost 25 chapters into the manga, we basically know nothing about Makima except that she is in a pretty big position of power amongst the public safety devil hunters. Basically, every character we see is subservient to her socially and in rank, but we haven't even seen her do a single thing. That is, until our boy Denji gets capped by some random Yakuza dude complaining about the quality of his ramen. And
Oh yeah, and then the train.
Makima,
Here we go.
at the same time, is assassinated on
This
train.
was absolutely
After
sick.
25 chapters of cock teasing, literally, Makima not only survives this assassination attempt, but turns every single person on the train into a donut. Then, she grabs a pair of new clothes, multiple prisoners serving life
Oh my god, this scene is so sick.
sentences for sacrifice, and starts cross-map one-shotting those who were attacking Denji, Aki, Himeno, and Power, all from simply saying their names. The anime even has Akane refer to the ability as, quote, bullshit, and that it has to be Makima's power.
That's
She's
close.
already so well known as being strong in the world of Chainsaw Man that to
Well, yeah, because they were all panicking. Like, wait, thought she was out of the picture. We wouldn't be doing this if she weren't. What are you doing?
these goons, only Makima could have something this ridiculous. This ability in the manga, mixed with her ability to hear things through nearby animals, makes it extremely overpowered. Initially, I thought the animals were a necessary component to this ability, though she saves Aki from multiple Yakuza members without having any animals nearby, as the manga makes it appear that she needs animals for surveillance for it to work, but that's not the case. It just assists this ability, making it stronger. Maybe it also counts for bacteria and bugs, but that's just headcanon. It's later revealed to us that she is not only immortal, hence surviving a headshot on the train, but she has signed a contract with the Prime Minister of Japan where anytime she sustains life-threatening damage, it is then reflected onto a random citizen of Japan.
It's crazy.
Her ability to kill people across the world is also so disgustingly overpowered. Kishibe is paranoid of this power no matter where he is, as he's worried Makima will have the capability to eavesdrop at any time. This also
Well, yeah, that's why he writes on the notepad on that scene, and it's like, wow.
essentially implies she is passively always listening to everything going on everywhere. The reason that is important in regards to Kishibe is because Kishibe is established to be the strongest devil hunter by his own admission when he is first introduced into the story of Chainsaw Man. I'd personally say this leans a lot more closely to his hand-to-hand combat prowess, because the fact that he's fearful of Makima in multiple scenes inherently implies her base power itself would be enough to beat him very easily.
And he's the strongest.
It is clarified that he's not actually in his prime, but we can't substantially prove just how much this would change things. He still makes the strongest claim at his current age. Makima could pretty much just point and kill him
One
with her
shot
finger.
straight
This
away,
also
yeah.
applies to almost every single other human and fiend shown in the series before her death, because one of the biggest plot points of the series was how overpowered and scary the Gun Devil was. A threat which is seen comparable to that of an actual worldwide calamity. It's talked about absolutely non-stop for the majority
That
of the
is,
series.
and I think that's meant to be the whole point of it, is to distract us from what is actually coming later, isn't it? Like, yeah, Gun Devil's epic, it's metal as anything, and then it's really sad what happens later with the whole Gun Devil thing, but it is really Makima.
Even Aki having the ambition to defeat it is seen as ridiculous by everyone. And then we're shown that the Gun Devil, which was hyped up since the first few chapters, is nothing in comparison to the Darkness Devil. In fact, the wording in the manga goes so far that it actually speaks in a negative connotation about the Gun Devil's power. Quote, "We are being watched by a dangerous devil. Far beyond here, devils far more dangerous than some gun devil."
So to use the word "some gun devil" is very, like, demeaning, isn't it?
The devils with the names of the primal fears are watching us. They are transcendent. Devils who have never once experienced death. The very instant we draw their hostility, we'll die. Lady Kwanzai, permission to kill myself. Idiot, I'll get us out of this somehow. It's already over. We're doomed. We're doomed. It's coming. It's on its way. It's here. The Gun Devil is viewed as so powerful that to take down such a threat, Makima tells Denji it would be a priceless check to be paid. This thing terrorized the world, and yet, as we know, she never feared the Gun Devil at all.
No.
But the reference in this to the priceless check, correlating to power, is very consistent amongst the series in regards to everyone's power, bar her own. In the past, the Gun Devil had the ability and speed to individually hit multiple major countries around the world and kill 1.2 million people in the span of 5 minutes. Then, due to the fear of guns around the world, followed by this major attack, it amplified the power of all devils by extension, as the world feared them so much now. Denji even thinks from this small explanation that the Gun Devil is too strong to even comprehend. By simply consuming a portion of this devil too, it can amplify any devil's power, whereas usually when a devil consumes a devil, they only regenerate from the blood. Two of these examples are the fish insect-looking devil, which was quoted as being too strong for a casual devil of its appearance, and the Eternity Devil, which was in the hotel where it was able to create a timeless loot area. It was also able to expand its body, heal, hide its heart in a position so you could never find it, and Denji had to fight this thing for pretty much 3 days straight.
It was a very long time.
Which, by the way, that was a pretty weak variation of Denji at that time. As shown when Makima arrives in Hell, Makima was also combating the Darkness Devil and, at the same time, purposely not showcasing her full power in front of Aki and the others, which you could even argue the Darkness Devil was in a temporary amp state due to how petrified everyone in front of it was. As an example, Pal was so scared for days after leaving Hell, Denji and Aki had to stay up really late and basically take separate shifts just to look after her. Also, to add to what I said before, Aki hates devils to the point where even the idea of befriending one is impossible to him. He won't even let Denji get sacrificed in the hotel because he suspects that if it benefits devils in any way whatsoever, then he is willing to risk himself and others dying over their advancement. Makima is well aware of this mindset. To get out of Hell and avoid
she knows how everyone's thinking. She knows all their moves and what's going to motivate them.
Using her powers in front of everyone, Makima commands a puppet body to transport them out. I'm sure if you go back and read the entire manga from start to finish, you'll start to notice countless nuanced, weird social interactions involving Makima, where she was actually controlling characters without us realizing too. Examples of this are Aki's recollection of how well he knows Makima when answering Denji's question about if she's a good person or not, stating he was saved by her, even though this is never shown and contradicts the actual flashbacks of his upbringing as far as we're aware. Makima also has a habit in battle of allowing herself to be hit by attacks knowing full well that she cannot actually die to any type of physical damage that she may incur. On record, dying around 30 times in combat, and then many times more later in the story. The aforementioned contract with the Prime Minister of Japan is also very interesting in regards to how it's worded in the manga, because when she takes fatal damage, it's transferred to a random Japanese citizen in the form of appropriate illnesses and, quote, accidents, essentially making it a form of factitious fate manipulation. Makima's immortality is so overpowered that even while she is cut up into various amazing culinary delights, people around Japan are still being affected by the contract because her body is attempting to completely regenerate from such small body parts. Basically, at this point in the story, every feat performed by non-primal fear-related beings, she inherently scales above in raw power. It's not really established thus far how energy works in Chainsaw Man, but they do appear to have some form of pressure-type crushing power, and hers would almost kill every character in a 1v1. Makima herself, via scaling, is even classed as a transcendent being amongst the series of Chainsaw Man because she's able to fight scales to the Darkness Devil. While not going all out, she makes it bleed with a point of her finger. What's just as overpowered as everything she does in combat is her ability to pull an Aizen and literally plan out every single part of Denji's life after he comes under her protection as a devil hunter. She manipulates him with food, new clothes, flirting, the lollipop scene, going to the movies, enticing him sexually, giving him loaded advice, playing with his feelings, gaslighting him, guilting him in general. Himeno, Makima sets up her death along with others. Rize shows Denji fun, relates to him, almost gives him a way out of this life. Makima goes out of her way to hunt her down, which is also a really good feat to show just how casually she scales above most in the series, because Rize was really difficult to deal with for various characters in the series that were considerably strong. Aki, they become good friends, they live together, they build a close family type connection, and she then orchestrates him being killed directly by Denji as the literal terror itself, which ruined Aki's life and millions of others. Dark as fuck. And power? Well, she capped her in front of his face, and he can't do anything about it, as his life goal, Makima, is also manipulating his life at the same time, while there's a birthday cake in front of him. Makima is viewed as such a threat in the world of Chainsaw Man that the President of the United States, while almost every other major nation has already conceded to her, the President sacrifices 1 year from every person in the United States to amplify the power of the Gun Devil, making it arguably even stronger than it was in the past,
That's mad.
just to take her out. The President perceives her existence as such a threat, she could change the entire world. Keep in mind also, all fatalities in the second Gun Devil attack were just collateral damage, as it was focused only on killing Makima. Makima casually, while in possession of multiple strong devil hunters and their contracts, defeats the Gun Devil in mere seconds, after it blitzes a large portion of Japan. Then, as I said before, she turns Aki into the fiend of the Gun Devil, and again, orchestrates Denji having to defeat him.
It's so sad as well, man. It's like, he saw it as just throwing snowballs, didn't he? And it's just like, oh.
I feel it probably would have taken 2 years from every American to do anything to her, and even that might not work because it's just my own headcanon. In short, Makima is so overpowered that if she fights someone with her complete arsenal of possessions and their devil contracts, which she can then amplify with her own power and the power she will gain from fear, she is thus able to kill things across the planet in seconds, along with the use of various weapons the Gun Devil can summon, have precognition in battle due to Aki's future devil. Under Makima's control, it would be far superior too, and she could feed it a piece of the Gun Devil, hypothetically, which basically means her foresight of the future would be amped to a level that could mean she's seeing minutes to hours into the future.
Damn.
We've actually seen an example of this in the recent chapters. The future devil is actually so useful in combat that Aki was able to parry a blow from Kwanzai, which was going to kill the Angel Devil. Speaking of the Angel Devil, this also applies to all of her powers and the people she has controlled. The Angel, which can age someone to death in an instant, well, she could actually amplify this power. Makima can kill people from across the planet, which cannot be blocked or avoided if she knows their names. This could also be used in a way where one of her puppets that she controls, like let's say Aki for example, she's like, yo, Aki, say this guy's name, the person explodes, Aki dies again, and then she just revives the body back to normal, so that's a possibility too, which makes the ability really damn hacks. Makima could also transport and trap people in hell, where they will pretty much have to face entities of her caliber, can wipe out multiple cities with casual attacks from the Gun Devil. Again, this thing is pretty much just like a worldwide calamity just sitting in her pocket. Can travel through animals, making her have like pseudo intangibility teleportation type ability. Now, teleport's a bit of an intense word because that sort of usually implies really fast movement, but the fact that she can travel around makes it a bit hard for people to sort of stop her, because she can just like fade away into an animal and then appear somewhere else like she did against Rize. Makima can attack things with her presence via the use of pointing her fingers like a gun, can potentially also use Aki's Curse Devil, and it one-shot the Katana Devil, which can revive from pretty much being like beheaded and cut in half in a similar manner to Denji. And like I said before with Aki's dead body, due to Makima controlling Aki's dead body, she could most likely revive him over and over, meaning the ability lasts forever and is amplified by her own use of it. Now, considering the fact that Makima scales directly to the Darkness Devil in any facet whatsoever, whether it's just making it bleed, even standing in front of it, lasting against it, or regenerating after being hit by it, this is a really big deal because the way that the Darkness Devil is described as being a transcendent being is very interesting, due to the fact that in many different Asian cultures, when they write about transcendent or holy figures in mythological literature, they can be described as many varying things, like being on a different dimensional plane of power, being one with everything, omniscient, omnipotent, enlightened, plenty of different definitions. Now, I can't give you a direct answer as to how strong it hypothetically would be, but it is a primal fear, and that is the fear of darkness, and everything from humans to random insects fear the darkness. The Gun Devil was basically able to completely wipe out things all over the planet with casual shots of its gun. The Darkness Devil, if it really is multiple echelons of power above the Gun Devil, and above the idea of stuff like nuclear warfare and so on, which is referenced in the series, without a doubt this thing has the capability to life wipe the planet, if not maybe even be planetary and beyond, and I think that's a bit of an understatement, to be honest.
Yeah,
though the falling Trauma Devil
well.
might be making a braggadocious statement, when it first appears it claims there is nothing on the planet that can actually beat it, and again it could be braggadocious, but this thing scales below the Darkness Devil because what's more scary, the fear of falling or the fear of the dark? I feel like the darkness is inherently just more scary to everything on the planet because it's the first fear that we have as children. Makima's main ability, which is her Control Devil powers, is able to completely mind control anyone weaker than her into doing whatever she wants.
Which is so
Makima
many
can actually
people.
remember those
Just
who've
everyone.
literally been erased from existence too, which is pretty overpowered perception. Is able to revive and control those she has revived, like a Path of Pain from Naruto, thus giving her access to their bodies and devil contracts. What's even crazier is that she can summon bodies that she herself isn't even aware of the whereabouts of. For example, when Tendo and the others were killed and buried by the American assassins in the forest, Makima could still summon them after their deaths. Maybe if she has met you during your life and
she just
die, she can make you appear if she's aware that you've died. Or her animal surveillance ability is so worldwide and just passively always on that she knew where they were buried and retrieved the bodies. And as long as there's Japanese citizens alive, she can respawn 126,027.
So the real way of killing Makima is to just blow up Japan, is that what? Yeah.
7,984 times, which was actually the population of Japan in 1997. However, if you deduct the death toll of the initial Gun Devil attack from when Aki was a kid, this number would actually be 125,970,072 times. Can you imagine having that many fucking yellow orbs in Devil May Cry?
Damn.
Oh, and that's just the contracts that we are aware of her possessing, and the others that I may have forgotten. With the Control Devil, a really overpowered aspect of this power is that she is able to completely alter someone's memories. Even when Nayuta uses this power, who is weaker than Makima, she was able to convince Asa, who is the War Devil, that she was an actual dog. And at that time, that's when the War Devil was actually in control of her body. Along with that, she said that she could make it appear that Denji had stood her up too, so the specifics on what she can alter the memories to are seemingly endless. Kwanzai was so terrified of Makima and the idea of Makima killing her women that she said she would be willing to lick her shoes to save them. This feat is wild because Kwanzai was someone Kishibe asked to assist him with taking down Makima. Scales above almost every character in hand-to-hand combat, and one of her women, the Cosmic Devil, could have hit Makima with her ability to bestow someone with the knowledge of everything that has happened in the universe, sending them insane to the point where all they can say is Halloween. But, like I said, she just dies. Even if you say it's because she was killed too fast, well, Kwanzai, her superior, already verbatim stated Makima had the ability to kill the women beside her anyway. Oh yeah, and speaking of the Cosmic Devil, Makima should be able to bring the Cosmic Devil into combat, which can completely fry someone's brain like a zip bomb being opened. Makima also implies Denji could never beat her in hand-to-hand combat, though it's hard to argue normal Denji has better martial arts skills than Kishibe and Kwanzai anyway. So it's a bit of a throwaway comment, but it's like, it's not really a surprise. The fact that Makima scales above any variation of the Gun Devil and can harm a devil that is classed as transcendent and makes the Gun Devil look like nothing, considering it is one of the biggest and oldest fears man has ever had, the fear of the dark, Makima is easily a worldwide threat. The Gun Devil was already a threat to multiple countries with its power, and like I said before, if the president had sacrificed multiple years from every American, I'm sure the firepower would be considerably larger, so it could probably fire out bullets from its gun that could blow away entire countries or even shoot into the core of the planet. Though even with that, Makima had multiple countries bend the knee before she even really moved. So, as far as the current standing of power is in Chainsaw Man, the lowest category for characters, even the stronger ones, is actually speed. Now, I'm sure you could make some headcanon weird arguments about how the Darkness Devil could move around through the darkness, but that would be specific to it, not everybody else. And unless we get more speed statements, or Denji can eventually say dodge, light, teleport, do some funky stuff like phase through things or reappear in different positions with a certain ability, almost all high tier characters are somewhat relative to each other in speed, with the complete Chainsaw Man and the Darkness Devil being the only ones that can blitz Makima. The Chainsaw Man is visibly shown to be considerably faster than her, and the Darkness Devil hits her with its sword, which she can't avoid, but again, she wasn't really going all out, so it's hard to say. Most of the major speed feats linger around hypersonic to many times that of Mach speed. Makima, with her eyesight from a very long fucking distance, reacts easily to the Gun Devil blitzing across Japan in seconds, and is able to casually shoot Chainsaw Man into space with her finger gun, literally just putting her finger up in the air and going bang, 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 bang. It's actually quite cool that the author, Tatsuki Fujimoto, is very verbal with his power scaling for us readers, and even shows timers to directly showcase how fast everything happens with the Gun Devil.
Which is pretty damn cool. Like, you can actually physically, like, read, like, bam, it is that fast.
All of this is easily scaled to Makima, who orchestrated all major events thus far and wasn't really trying against the Gun Devil at all. She dealt with it very, very easily. Also to add, even if she might not be that fast compared to other series, she can just use the Future Devil to anticipate a faster opponent's attack. Even when Makima makes the real Chainsaw Man appear, she messes around quite a lot in the battles and doesn't seem to be taking things incredibly seriously. This is evident by her conversations with Kishibe mid-fight. Even her facial expressions near death never really show her completely freaking out or scared. She goes out of the story the way that she was already in it, casually throwing those under her control at the Chainsaw Man and using her immortality to get out of fatal situations. One thing I genuinely enjoy about her character, especially the fact that she's a female character in a shonen manga, is that her character type is consistent from start to finish. Manipulative as fuck, never caves to Denji's advances, is very emotionless and sociopathic all the way through the story, and it's even explained that a lot of this happened with her character because as the Control Devil, the only way that she built a connection with people was because she would just control everybody around her and everyone was inferior to her, especially in her own mind. So, in truth, she was in fact quite similar to Denji. She was lonely like Denji. Denji's was due to his upbringing, hers was because she couldn't really operate with other people correctly, you know? If you had that sort of power, eventually it would become a bit of a curse. It's like I was saying earlier, a lot of these characters are actually written in a pretty nuanced way. Something Denji later points out is that for him to catch Makima off guard, he knew deep down that she didn't really care about him, and that she relied on her sense of smell to identify people faster. Specifically, those she actually cared about, be it because of their power or just a general interest. Naruto was able to tell that the War Devil was inside Asa just from her scent. Now, I personally believe her defeat is not only relatively rushed, but a bit lackluster to be honest. Denji was able to take advantage of her and then consumed her, which erased her completely from existence, stopping her from being able to reappear again. One thing you'll actually notice about Chainsaw Man is that once you get to the Assassin's arc, which I actually thought was going to go a lot longer than it did, once they actually get out of hell, everything just goes from 0 to 100. It becomes such a fast-paced series that I feel like the author should have probably taken a bit more time to develop Makima even further and potentially do more with her instead of killing her off so fast. Not exactly keep her around in the series for too long because her being eventually defeated is a good thing for the story. But I just felt like more could have been done with her, you know? It's kind of like that same feeling where once Aizen is defeated in Bleach, you go to the Fullbring arc, which is essentially, in this case, Chainsaw Man Part 2, and the vibe of the series feels a lot different because, well, the main threat is she's gone. So I just felt like, you know, maybe more could have been done with Makima, but even still, I still really enjoy the character. Denji is the only devil able to do this, and thus makes the Chainsaw Man extremely powerful. Something to consider about why Makima was made so alluring and overpowered is quite similar to the explanation the author gave about the Gun Devil's creation and how it was meant to encapsulate the idea of warfare, the conglomerate of the United States war machine. There's also potential weird arguments that you could make that if Makima scales anywhere near the War Devil or is actually stronger than the old War Devil, then even nuclear warfare wouldn't stop her. And the statement from the Falling Trauma Devil about how currently nothing on Earth at this time can stop it, this could be referencing the fact that Makima isn't around anymore.
Yeah.
When I was in junior high school, I started making fantasy stories in my head. And there are several serialized works, but only one of them, Breath of the Stars, is Chainsaw Man. In it, Makima is a character that symbolizes domination. That's why Makima was the first character in Chainsaw Man that I had a solid image of both inside and outside. I like the Benton character in the Eccentric family, based on the novel by Tomohiko Morimi, because he is an unfathomable being who is higher than humans, but he has his own sadness. And we, the lowly ones, can't be there for his sadness. I like it. It would be nice if we could show that in Makima too. By the way, isn't chainsaw originally a tool to cut wood? If you cut ki out of Makima, you get mama. Denji has always been pursuing maternal things. Fujimoto.
Wow.
When Fujimoto was in art college, he was involved in an incident where a female student had flipped Fujimoto's bike upside down in the bike parking area. That girl walked straight up to Fujimoto and admitted, "I turned your bike upside down. Ha ha ha." Instead of feeling bullied, Fujimoto was over the moon. This had led him to self-realizing that he is a masochist and likes overbearing and unreasonable attractive women.
Huh.
Is Fujimoto our guy? Before this video ends, I'd like to give a massive shout out to everyone involved with the production of this video. Without their help, none of this would have been possible. Omar and Alex did such a god-tier job on that Makima animation, which you've seen in the video, that basically lined up with my voice as she was shooting
cool.
Chainsaw Man into space. This was custom made and commissioned for the video. Vitochi gave me permission to use some of their amazing motion manga to make the video just that much better, and Nahu was kind enough to let me use his Rize animation for this video.
Sweet.
Please go check them all out below and follow their content. Also, if you want me to make a similar video on the Chainsaw Man, just simply subscribe to me, like the video, and have yourself a fantastic day.
I hope he does more Chainsaw Man stuff. That was really interesting. That was a really good good look at it. It's nice to have a reminder of what happened. Even though obviously the anime, I'm hoping the anime comes back, man. Everyone's like speculating of whether there is going to be a season 2. I think there will be. But yeah, season 1 was boss. I am waiting for the next volume to come out to start reading part 2. So I think I got spoiled a little bit on part 2 there, but that's fine. I saw the bit with the chickens. I started reading the first couple of chapters and then I was just like, I'll leave it. And I'll just buy the volumes and then read it that way. But yeah, it's good to be back on Clyde's videos. And make sure you check out my Etsy shop. Link is in the description there for t-shirts and hoodies that I've designed. And thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, link in the description of the Patreon page. $1 a month is our support channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for that. Thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos as it goes. Or you guys. Next time.